number 31, next permutation. Yeah, the description is very long, but basically the idea is that for a number, for example, this is 1, 2, 3. So the next permutation is the next bigger number. So what is the next number bigger than 1, 2, 3? So of course it is a 1, 3, 2. For example, 3, 2, 1. Where is the next? We didn't find, so we go to the smallest. It is 1, 2, 3. For example, this is a 1, 1, 5. So what is the next? So it is 1, 5, 1. So next number bigger than this one. Yeah, let me explain it in whiteboard first and then put it in code editor. Yeah. So basically this problem is like a simulation. Yeah, I think it's a simulation or simulation. Yeah, but basically the idea is we're gonna find the next bigger number than this number. Yeah, if for example this is 1, 2, 3. The first step we need to find a pivot. So I'll name it a pivot. So the pivot is such a point. We just need to find some number to compare with this pivot. So we are going to find a pivot first. So how we are going to find it? Because for example, this is 1, 2, 3. As we already know, the next permutation is 1, 3, 2. But why it is 1, 3, 2? We are going to loop from the right to the left. We are going to check this number with the number previous to 3. Yeah. So if this number is bigger than its previous number, because we are going to loop from the right to the left, only in this way can we find the next permutation, next bigger number than 1, 2, 3. Yeah. If it is bigger, now we are sure we find a pivot. So we are going to put a pivot here. So the pivot is at index 1. Yeah. After finding the pivot, this is our first step. Yeah. We are going to initiate the pivot as none. Yeah. If we didn't find a pivot, for example, this is a 3, 2, 1. We didn't find a number. This is 1. It's not bigger than 2. 2 is not bigger than 3. So we didn't find. We just need to reverse the number because this has already been the biggest. After reverse, it will be 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So this is the first step. Just find the pivot. So the second step is, so if we already find the pivot, we just need to find a number to swap with this pivot number. So how we are going to find this number? So we are also going to loop from the right to left until the pivot. Yeah. So before one number before the pivot. If this is bigger than the pivot, we just need to swap it. So after swap, it will be 1, 3, 2. Yeah. And the second step, we call it swap. So the third step is reverse. So what we are going to do is after swap, we are pretty sure that 1, 3 should be okay. But what about this number 2? Actually, it is not okay. Why? Because according to the first step, we are going to check if it is bigger. So actually, for the first step, we are pretty sure every number behind this pivot, it should be in decreasing order. Yeah, here there's only one number, you cannot see it clearly. But for example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3. Yeah. Now, similarly, for the first step and second step, first one will find the pivot. So this number is smaller, we didn't find, but this number 4 is bigger than 2, we find the pivot is 2. After swapping, yeah, we find 3 is bigger than 2. After swapping, it is 1, 3, 4, and 2. And we see that this is in decreasing order. We have to reverse. After reverse, it will be 2 and 4. Yeah, so 1, 3, 2, and 4 should be the result. But how do you know it is in decreasing order? Can it be like 2, 4? No, actually it is 4, 2. Why? Because in the first step, we are going to check each number. If this number is smaller than this number, we don't do anything. Yeah, only if it is bigger, yeah, we find a pivot. Only if this number is bigger than 2, this is in increasing order, and then we find a pivot. But everything before, we should know that should be decreasing order. Why? Even this 2 is the smallest number. Yeah, swap with this 3, but it is still in decreasing order. It will not change the decreasing order property of the last part. So what we're going to do is for the last part, we just need to reverse for the last part. Yeah, I think this is a really hard problem because a lot of edge cases and we need to simulate. Yeah, now let me go to the code editor to code it up here. So as I said, we basically need 3 steps. The first is find a pivot, the first step, and the second step is swap if bigger than pivot. So the third step is reverse. So reverse after the pivot. So for simulations, such kind of problem, normally we need to divide it into several steps, and then we're gonna finish the code. So as I said, I will define a pivot as none. So if pivot equal to none, we didn't find the pivot, we are going to reverse the nums. So the nums dot reverse, and we are going to return because here we don't need to do anything. But if the pivot is not none, we are going to check. Yeah, and I'm going to define another variable n. So this n is the length of nums. Yeah, so for I in range n minus 1, and here I'm going to put it 0 because I will use I minus 1. So here I will put it 0, and I will count from the right to the left. So this is why I'm going to use it for loop in reverse order. So I'm going to check if this nums I is, as we said, if this nums I, let me go to the whiteboard. Yeah. So if this nums I is bigger than nums I minus 1, we find the pivot. Yeah. So if nums I is more than nums I minus 1, we find the pivot. And what is the pivot? The pivot is I minus 1. After find the pivot, we basically need to break. Yeah. And the second step is swap if bigger than the pivot. So similarly, it's also the for loop in reverse order. For I in raise I minus 1, and here be the pivot, because we don't need to count anything before the pivot, just after the pivot. We need to find a number that is bigger than this pivot. So here is still minus 1. So if this nums I is bigger than nums pivot, so it means we find this number. After that, basically we are going to swap nums I with nums pivot. Yeah, in Python we can directly do this. Pivot with nums I. Yeah, after swap we need to break. Yeah, because we don't need to swap everything about them. We just need to find one number. How we find it? We are going to find it from the right to the left. Yeah, because if we find another number, of course it should not be right. For example, let me put it here. Yeah, we are going to find the first number because this for 2 is in decreasing order. Yeah, because this for 3 is in decreasing order. We are going to count from the right to the left. We are going to find the first number. This first number, definitely we are sure it is the next permutation. That is why, because this is in decreasing order for n 3. This is why we first find this number and swap. After swap, we're gonna reverse. Yeah. So for the last step, basically we are going to reverse. So the nums should be pivot pivot plus 1 dot reverse. This is because here, if we find this pivot is 3. After 3, we have numbers like 2 and 4. Yeah, this is why pivot plus 1 should goes to here. Yeah, so what's left behind is 4 and 2. We just need to reverse 4 and 2. Yeah. So here, what we're going to do is everything is in place. So this is why we can directly use a reverse. Yeah. Now let me try if everything is okay. Yeah, as you can see, it seems everything is okay. I think I proved everything why we needed to do each of the step. But yeah, let's check if this is not okay. 1 3 2 2 3 1. It should be 2 1 3. Let me check what's the problem. Here the pivot and less. I'm going to start from here 0. If it is okay, this is also okay, and here reads. If this number, yeah, if this number is -1, yeah, this number, it means after the pivot. Let me print the pivot to check what it is. Yeah, if I find the right number or not. Let me use this test case and to check what's inside the pivot. So here for this 1 3 2, the pivot, what I find is 0. Yeah, after 0, the output 3 1. Yeah, let me print the pivot with nums to see if everything above the print is okay or not. So here I got 1 3 2. Yeah, so the output should be, here I got 1 3 2. Yeah, it should be 2. Yeah, it should be 2 first and then reverse. Here I got 1 3 2. The pivot is 0 after. Yeah, so here it seems okay, because the pivot should be 0. I'm going to swap. Yeah, and now I'm going to check here after the second step if it is okay or not. So the second step, the pivot is still 0, but I finished my swap. So the swap will be 2 3 1. Yeah, 2 3 1. And my last, as we can see, for the last step I didn't swap. I don't know. So here should be 2 1 3, but I got 2 3 1. So I think the nums pivot plus 1 dot reverse should be okay. Yeah, I cannot use reverse. Nums pivot plus 1. Let me put nums pivot plus 1. Yeah, it should be 3 and 1. After reverse, it should be 1 and 3. It didn't work. Nums pivot plus 1 dot reverse. I think it should be okay. Now let me put it like this, equals to nums pivot plus 1 reverse like that. Yeah, basically I'm going to put its nums inside. Yeah, it's still not okay. 3 1 1 3. Yeah, I cannot reverse. It seems everything should be okay. But this pivot plus 1 should start from here. 3 1 should be reversed to 1 3. I think the last line is not right. The nums pivot. Let me print this one. Yeah, and here 3 1 3 1. It seems that this is not reversed. Yeah, as we can see, nums pivot plus 1. After reverse, it didn't reverse. Yeah, basically this didn't reverse. I don't know why. Nums pivot plus 1 reverse. Let me try dot reverse and create nums pivot plus 1. Yeah, there must be something wrong. Don't know. Nums pivot plus 1. Nums pivot plus 1. Yeah, I cannot reverse it. That's really strange. So as we know, up to here it should be okay. 2 3 1 3 1. Yeah, sometimes you got stuck. It should be very easy, but you don't understand why. Yeah, because the last step is only to reverse the pivot. The pivot is 0, so the pivot plus 1 should be okay. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, it's really strange. Yeah, because here is everything should be okay. Here pivot and nums should be okay. Yeah, as we can see, this is a 2 3 and 1. We just needed to reverse these two numbers. It's not so difficult, it's just a reverse, but it didn't work. It's strange. Nums pivot plus 1 dot reverse. Yeah, you see? It didn't work. Just didn't work. Yeah, let me check my submissions. Maybe something wrong I didn't find. So what is wrong? Yeah, so many wrong submissions. So what is wrong? Yeah, let me put this line. Yeah, I think this is why I did it wrong, because I forgot. Yeah, because this dot reverse didn't work. Let me use this line. Yeah, it have to, because this is a copy. This is not a reverse. Yeah, this is why I forget. I forget about the reverse for this Python. Yeah. Now let me put it. Now this is the reverse, because this sign is basically reverse. Yeah, it means reversed this number and then put it inside. Maybe I can write it like this: reverse and reversed. Yeah, so this is basically a copy of the last part. We put the last part inside. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is totally in place or not. If I use this kind of a version, the replacement must be in place and used only constant actual memory. Yeah, so the replacement before the first step and second step is in place, but for the last part, if I use reversed nums, it is not in place. So what we're gonna do is we are going to use yeah, you directly use a in place reverse, because this is yeah, because I'm pretty sure this is not in place. Yeah, so for here I think we should write a function to put it as in place reverse. Yeah, because as I said, nums pivot dot reverse that didn't work, so we have to make a in place reverse. So what is the in place reverse? We just define a reverse function, and inside we put it nums, and here we just needed to put this function inside. So reverse this nums pivot +1. Yeah, so this is basically what we are going to do. As we already know, reverse nums is easier if we use like 2 pointers. I think everything should be okay. L and R should be equal to 0, and then nums -1. Yeah, because here we are going to put a in place reverse. Yeah, and while yeah, I'm not sure if this is works or not. Nums. Yeah, we cannot use a function to put it in place reverse. Nums dot reverse. It didn't work. I'm pretty sure this didn't work. Yeah, we just needed to yeah, in place reverse this nums. We should use L and R equals to 0, and then nums -1. We needed to just reverse it, while L less than R. Yeah, we can use a swap. Nums L, nums R equals to nums R, nums L. So I think this is the in place reverse. Now let me check it. Oh, here I forgot to, yeah, that's L minus 1 and R minus 1 and L should plus 1 to stop the while loop. Yeah, it seems we cannot put the nums inside. We have to reverse this nums directly. Now let me do it like this. Yeah, so here we are going to do something like yeah, we are going to do something like this. Just reverse it in place. Reverse this nums pivot plus 1. So the L and the R should be like this, and R should be len nums pivot plus 1 minus 1, and we are going to use this kind of loops to finish the reverse. So here I'm going to delete this lines of code, and this one should be okay, and this one should also be okay. So while we just use this one nums, so this L should start from pivot plus 1, and this one should be nums should be n minus 1. Yeah, because that is the last part, and then we are just gonna reverse it in place.